Hi, it's me again because it's a Tuesday. I have prepared 5 global development publications to share with you today. This week's recommendations are heavy on climate change, so if you work or are interested in that space, you are in luck. It's already January 25th, and usually I would moan about how long January is, but this one has gone by pretty fast. Is that a good thing? Anyways, here is what I have for you this week. First is a report from a program I got to know about from Duncan Green, who blogs on From Poverty to Power. You should follow him if you aren't already. I will link below. Back to the report, which is a research piece from the work of the Action for Empowerment and Accountability Research Program that highlights implications of empowerment and accountability strategies employed by donors, policymakers, and practitioners in unstable and conflict-prone areas. Findings from this study reveals that donor intervention can either negatively or positively affect these fragile societies, depending on how programs are implemented, and donors should therefore be mindful of this when designing their strategic interventions. Next is a 24-page paper from the Institute of Security Studies that reiterates how, despite contributing the least to global warming, Africa is projected to experience the most climate shocks. Adaptive strategies that encompass human and economic development must therefore be prioritized by African governments. Key findings from the report reveal that increased temperatures are inevitable, erratic weather will undermine human security, the poor are most vulnerable to climate change impacts, and adaptation strategies must be complemented with development efforts to increase resilience. Recommendations include mainstreaming adaptation in all development agendas, prioritizing vulnerable communities in reducing risks, ensuring sustainable environmental management during economic growth, and finally, incorporating indigenous knowledge of locals and contextualizing climate responses to locations. At number 3, and still on climate change, is a report that makes a case for strengthening action research for successful climate change adaptation. The paper goes on to explain the links between action research in practice and adaptation research. It reveals how these complement each other in alleviating practical societal concerns while advancing social science. With the use of 20 projects, good practices and insights on contextualized adaptation action research are highlighted. 4 highlights 10 years of the world's largest research for development partnership on forests, trees, and agroforestry that started in 2011. Using examples, it sums up the importance of forests, agroforestry systems, and multifunctional landscapes, their contribution to food security and nutrition, and their role in combating food system shocks as well as climate change. Finally, at number 5 is UNECA's analysis report on gender in climate change policies, programs, and national determined contributions processes. It highlights gender perspectives in climate change policies, as well as some countries in the global south that are incorporating gender equality policies that empower women in their national and climate change plans. It goes on to analyze the national determined contributions formulation process in African nations and the many factors contributing to gender-related vulnerability, gendered adaptation responses, and mitigatory measures. It advocates for support to be provided to African governments for alignment between national determined contributions formulation and national climate policies for a stronger response to the needs of both men and women. That's my 5 recommendations for this week. Happy reading. Until next week. Bye.